of glaucoma with THC, and she said, and we're seeing that more and more. But she said it will reduce the pressure in your eyes.
What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by Lab Canna, our new studio sponsor. Lab Canna is focused on doing the right things the right way. High-quality lab-tested hemp-derived products with real emphasis on transparency and consistency. Everything that they put out is backed by data, so you actually know what you're getting every time. What sets them apart from the rest is their attention to detail. From sourcing and testing the final product, it's all built around people who care about quality and trust and, all those great things. We're proud to have Lab Canna sponsoring the studio and helping us keep this platform growing. Make sure you go check out their location here on Gallatin Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Check out their socials and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot, guys.
What's up, guys? On today's episode, we got one of my buddies, Neal Thompson, on the show. He's a regional sales rep for Cantrip, an award-winning cannabis beverage company, and he's one of my favorite locals in the scene. Neal's right in the middle of the beverage side of this industry, so he's got a lot of insight. We're gonna talk about that and, try to figure out where things are headed, what these companies should be paying attention to, what you should be paying attention to, why infused drinks are starting to take off in the first place. Yeah, so let's dive in, guys. Thank you. Are you full?
I'm full.
Is your heart full?
My heart is full.
Good.
I'm ready to roll.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, man.
It's I know it's not easy to get around when you're so busy.
Traffic
I'm the
pops
same
up.
Yeah, and traffic. You're moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like day to day. Are you doing that Monday through Friday, kind of moving around quite a bit?
Pretty much, but I try to, I make my routes, so to try to stay in a certain part of town. But I seem to be always coming back over to East Nashville.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking on my way back over this evening, I thought I should just live on the bridge.
I should just, you know what? I'm just gonna live on the damn bridge.
That's going to be my home.
Yeah.
But I don't mind traffic, so it doesn't get me.
I feel like, and maybe I could get in trouble for saying this, but I feel like if I'm a little stoned, it really just helps me in traffic, dude.
I was about to say the same thing.
It's the difference between a level 9 road rage and just being able to, let everything roll off your back.
It is. And I see the road rage, and I'm like, look at y'all. Or, I'll get to the point where the car that was the troublemaker, we'll get to that point, and then I get right next to him. I'm like, we arrived in the same place, and you never got ahead.
We're here. And you were mad, and I was happy.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep looking the other way because I don't want you to shoot me.
Yep. It's scary. Yeah, it is scary out there on the road. If you're moving around in those prime time places, then, yeah.
I always say, every life has a story. So you don't know what's going on in their day that has pushed them to be like that.
There's something about being in a car that gives you some kind of disassociation, or some people some kind of disassociation from the world outside of them. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of dogs. Like when you have a gate between them,
right?
They're going crazy. But when you open that gate, they're all cool. They go from a 10 to chill.
Right.
I wonder if it's like that.
It must be. But you just, and the wrecks, when you look at these wrecks and you're trying to figure out how it happened, and there's just no way to figure out how this thing happened.
Ugh.
Now, the other day I was getting off in Franklin on for 96, and there was a wreck in the left-hand lane for all those cars that turn left to go to out there to Arno Road on those homes way out there, which is always a huge line. Well, now there's one lane, and it was a wreck, and it was obviously somebody was not paying attention at all and hit the car that had stopped in front of them at, at least 45, 50 miles per hour.
Jeez.
And, by the time when I got up to it, they had already transported those people off. But I thought, not paying attention. And you can't do anything about that.
No. Yeah, I know what you mean when you say you get there and you're like, how did this happen? There's no way to know, because it all just seems impossible. Like,
It does.
there's no way for, how could any of this happen? It's crazy. A high speed, crazy impact car wreck can just do things that we can't imagine.
Right. And I love when people tell me, I'm leaving their store or wherever, they go, be careful out there. And I always say, I will be, but please tell everybody else. Everybody else needs to hear this.
Yeah, no doubt. Man. Well, I mean, like, as far as this interview goes, I want to know, and people that are watching want to know probably a little bit more about you. A lot of these people that are watching know you.
Okay. Right.
I've known of you for at least 2 or 3 years-ish.
Right.
How long have you been with Cantrip?
For a little over 2 years.
2 years, okay. So I feel like you were with them when I met you at the first, or at the High Notes
Yeah,
Cup.
that's right.
Yeah, was that one?
That was that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so that was the first time I met you, I think, in person.
Right, yeah. And the first entry, really, of Cantrip into the market,
Really? So, yeah, how close was that to their launch?
Well, I started selling in July of 23, and was self-distributed until November, and about the third week of November, Athens picked us up.
Athens is a big distributor.
Yeah.
Okay. And is Athens like primary cannabis kind
of? No, so they're one of the liquor distributors.
Oh, okay.
And so they picked us up, and so because they all have their own, they carry different THC brands.
Yeah, sure.
And so we were the first for Athens, and so when that event happened, so it was just a week or so after Athens picked us up, so it was really here's Cantrip.
That was kind of right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah.
So it was good. And then Orange won that night.
Orange won that night. Yes.
And then repeated itself the next year.
Did it win again the second year?
The second year.
Orange won twice in a row. That's incredible. Excuse me. Yeah, it is such a great flavor. Here's something I would ask you about that. Oh, excuse me. Has that changed any, like this formulation? The formulation that won, has it changed? Did it change between then or now?
No, the formulation hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed is we've removed all the artificial dyes.
I noticed that at some point. I found a can somewhere, like I'm all over the place, and I'll see them all over the place and grab one. And I noticed the other day that all the artificial stuff seemed to have gone away.
It's gone away. And so it started with, actually, with the orange, Cantrip wanted to make it clear anyway.
Yeah.
But people were always saying at tastings and stuff, it needs to be orange. Orange needs to be orange. And so it stayed that way. But then this year, the state of Florida banned all artificial dyes.
State of Florida did that?
Yes. And so then for us to play in the state, it had to happen.
Yeah.
So now they're all, and so if you just drink out of the can, you don't see
you don't get that mind trick. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. If those people that were tasting that were blindfolded, they wouldn't have had that comment, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be doing a taste test. I'm gonna be working with one of the restaurants here and just have people do a taste test, like the cola with a regular Coke, Diet Cola with a Diet Coke, you know, and just see what their reaction is and what they pick.
Yep.
You know, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because the orange to a Fanta, you know, the grape to a knee high.
Knee high. Wow. I remember the knee highs. I gotta bring this up now that we're here.
Yeah, the root beer.
And this bag, you've had this bag for a minute.
Yeah, everybody loves that bag.
Everybody loves
Everybody
the bag.
loves that bag, and I love putting it on my back and going down like Broadway. People love that thing. So yeah, there's a grape 50, and there's the root beer.
Root beer.
And there's Dr. Cantrip. That's the
I
new
haven't
one.
had that one yet.
That thing is unbelievable.
Really?
There's you.
I'm stoked. I'm gonna crack it open here. In a minute. So these are the 50 milligrams. Are those on the market yet?
Oh yeah, they're on the
Or
market.
you can buy these. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've seen a 50 out in the wild.
Yeah, you can buy them at the liquor stores.
Great. That's awesome. And the tins are still available too.
Tins are still available
Yeah.
too, and then the tins are what really the bars and restaurants are picking up.
Right.
And, then there's a line of fives that of the seltzers, and it's good for places to offer a 5.
Yep.
Because a 5 milligram being about like a glass of wine, some people 2-3 milligrams puts them on their ass.
I remember talking to you several weeks ago, and that was kind of the thing. Like some of these bars don't want over 2.
Right. They're
Why do you think that is? You think
well,
there's
just the infancy of being in it
yeah.
and understanding.
I know that some of these establishments in the beginning that were serving some of these things were over serving them, especially just considering THC. I heard a lot of I had personal friends that just like with alcohol, just like with anything, they went out and to one of these places and they ingested too much of that and they had a really bad time. And for people that don't do it much,
Right.
they can some of the places are definitely not, especially high turnover places. They're not going to take the time to be like, "Are you sure you want
The education.
3 10-milligram drinks because you don't smoke weed?" They're not going to take the time to do that.
Well, I do a thing, a little staff training about 15 minutes before a restaurant or bar goes live.
Yeah.
With it, so they know
That's-
what to say to the customer, what to ask the customer when it's ordered.
Yeah.
And and not to be afraid of saying, well, if you ask the question, have you ever had a THC beverage? If they go no, don't be afraid to say, well, do you smoke weed or eat gummies? Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to ask that question because that's going to tell you. And if they still say no, if I haven't, then you know that a 10 milligram what it's going to do, and you can explain. 10 milligrams is going to be like 2 glasses of wine. But you're going to feel it in about 10 minutes or less. And it might be a little bit much, but the good news is, you drink a little bit, wait for it. It's not going to be long.
Right. All this is nano.
Right. So it's not going to be long.
The whole line is nano, right?
Right.
So that's such a good thing. I feel like that's a lot of what really trips people up is how long it takes to hit.
Right.
But if it hits you, relatively to the way alcohol does, they'll know when to stop.
Yeah. And then, and that's what, we explain, like it's explain to the customer that, it's more like smoking weed and that, when you feel it, if you're happy with where you're at, put the lid on it. Just like when you're smoking weed, when you hit it, if you're happy with where you're at, well, you're not going to smoke anymore.
Most people don't.
Right. And so, but if you want to continue, so,
Yeah.
it's just like telling the person like a 10 milligram is 2 servings, but treat it like you wish.
Yeah.
This is a 50 milligram. I'm treating it like I wish.
Yeah. Yeah. If you take cannabis slowly, you'll get. It's not the kind of substance that's going to make you want to continue to do more. You're going to want to stop.
Yeah. Well, you get hungry and
distracted.
That's it.
Distracted.
Distracted is right.
I definitely see it. Like if I'm going out, it definitely curbs my want for alcohol. I'll have 2 drinks instead of 4.
Okay. Good.
I think part of that is just distraction. Like I'm just not thinking about it.
Right.
And
and not having alcohol in 7.5 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's nice to go to a bar or a restaurant that does have THC.
Yeah.
And because there's something for me.
Yep.
And I always ask bars and restaurants, even hotels, like, do you feel like you serve everyone? And they'll always go, yeah, we do. And I go, okay, well, so how do you treat the recovering alcoholic? What do you have for them? And I go, oh, well, I know that answer. I know that answer. You've got soda, and you've probably maybe tea and water.
Yeah.
And I said, but if I want to have fun and I want to stay at your bar,
Yeah.
I'm not going to just
not
want to
feel-
keep drinking water.
Yeah.
So, and then there are the bars and restaurants in Nashville are learning, that CBD does put people to sleep. There are bars that have told me that they've had to wake people up, and they think that they have passed out drunk, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's CBD sometimes puts me to sleep.
Do you guys have CBD in your?
We have in one of them. We have a ginger peach seltzer that's 3 milligram THC, 2 milligram CBD.
Nice. Okay.
So I always tell people you will be happy and relaxed, and it's also very good to go to sleep.
Yeah. Sedative.
And I was like, nobody's gonna get high on that beverage.
Yep.
But it will relax you if that's your goal.
Yeah, that plus 2 beers, Sandman's coming.
It's coming. I know so many people that have used it for their parents for sleep at night.
Dude, it's great for sleep.
Even these 50 milligrams. I remember at one tasting a few years ago, a guy asked me, so I guess that's just for stoners, and I was like, you'd be surprised. I said, there's people that would eat a gummy to go to sleep, and I said, and that population is like 70 to 80 years old, and they have a method now. They can measure out what they need, drink it, and it's going to affect them sooner, and then go to sleep.
Yeah, they don't even they spend so little time even feeling high. They're just asleep, and then they wake up and they're fine.
They're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It probably like NyQuil. If you drink, a couple shots of NyQuil before you go to bed, and you wake up, for whatever reason, you're gonna feel a little fun.
Yeah, you are. But this is
same.
so there's. I said it's for everybody.
Yeah. I think it's very comparable to a sedative like that, without all the terrible chemicals that aren't good for you if you stay on them for too long.
Exactly.
You can't. Don't drink NyQuil to sleep. That is not what that's for.
That's not. But but I've been with Cantrip for a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
Been in the industry since 2018.
Since 2018. So what led you there? And even farther back than that, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dalton, Georgia.
Dalton, Georgia.
South of Chattanooga.
Okay, halfway between there and Atlanta-ish.
No, it's only 30 miles south of Chattanooga.
Short, yeah.
So it's a short.
I love that area, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And so I grew up there and
cool place.
Graduated from the University of Georgia.
Okay.
And so I'm a dog.
Yeah.
And then I actually went into different fields, but for AT&T for a few years and in there and NCR and just Sprint. I was kind of in the telecom world.
Okay.
And the telecom world had a big downturn. Can't remember the year, but I think around 2000. Yeah, and just a lot of layoffs, and so I actually started working at volunteering my time because I didn't want to jeopardize my unemployment.
Sure.
But I was working at a Chick-fil-A.
Fun.
And,
All right.
And so then that led me down the Chick-fil-A path. And so I ended up at corporate and I worked in training and development. And then I ended up owning my own store in Cookeville.
Oh, wow.
And so opened that in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. And that, it was, as much as everybody thinks that that's just the wonderful life as a Chick-fil-A operator. It's not. And, it wasn't for me. It just, it is for a lot of people, but just for me, it was more headaches.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, got out of that. And when I did that, we moved over to Nashville and got out of Cookeville.
Yep.
And we had 2 kids, young kids at the time. And let's see. And then I kind of ventured back in and out of restaurants for a little while there, like with Five Guys, burgers and fries, and so
Okay.
different ones. And but it took what led me into working in cannabis was I'd been working for a restaurant and I was looking to get out of it, and I wanted to, and so I had been a district manager in different roles, and so I actually went into a totally different field, which was flood and fire restoration.
Oh, okay.
And so I worked for ServPro,
Okay.
and then I was in a kind of like a district manager, if you will,
Yep.
for them. And then when I left ServPro, I went with another. It was a air. I'm trying to get the words for here, but it's like a air quality and mold and that remediation
Copy
stuff.
remediation. Yep.
And during that time with that company, the founder of the company really wanted to venture into. We had a product that eliminated mold, and without, like, you could spray it in the wall and it would eat through to the roots of it, and so it was tested on
Without damaging
cannabis.
the wall.
Right, and it was tested on cannabis too, and and found out that it worked to eliminate any type of mold that could be growing in the plant, and it opened up and I'm not really the scientist here, but it would open up basically, I want to say, the capillaries to make it bigger, could allow this through.
Okay.
And
Fascinating.
But so that's what got me moving into the cannabis industry. And then after that, I was with a few edible companies, and then I really wanted to get into beverages.
Yeah.
Really wanted it, and was really was looking at it because I always felt like the beverage side, when it hits, it's going to be just huge, because there's people that want to get high but that we're not going to smoke. There's people that don't drink. There's just going to be a big thing, and true enough, it is huge.
Yeah.
We're hearing liquor store sales numbers the sales are beating beer sales. The sales are beating wine sales.
Maybe like it's probably pretty close to flower sales, I would almost imagine.
Yeah, and that's what the liquor stores have realized. It is a cash cow.
Big time. It's a great turnover.
It is, and so and I always encourage my stores to go. You need more. I'll go. You need more, and they go. That sounds so strange for a guy from Cantrip saying you need more competition on the shelf, and I say you do, because we attract each other.
It's good.
And I said so. And when somebody comes in looking for Cantrip, they may see something else that they go, oh, I heard about that. I'm going to get one of those. I'll try that too, or vice versa. And I said, so we attract each other. So the more that's going to sell.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely something to be said about competition, and there's a reason there's always a Burger King across the street from a McDonald's.
Right. Exactly.
Almost every time.
Yeah. And Walgreens and CVS.
Yep. Yeah, that's part of it.
And then if you're like it's a sandwich place.
Subway. Yeah.
You're going to be right next to them.
Yeah.
You'll be right. They have no.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it can be anywhere.
Yeah, there's more Subways than anything else, right? I think they have McDonald's to beat. Wow. Yeah, Subway's numbers are wild. But yeah, so you kind of, so aside from the business venturing into cannabis, were you a cannabis smoker growing up, or like when did you get into it?
Not really. Started to try it till like college, and and
me too.
Out of that, and then just realizing, it's wonderful for me from the standpoint of being a recovering alcoholic, and but there was no association of that together, so I can smoke weed, I can consume cannabis, and it's not the same.
Right.
you know, and I can turn it off when I want to turn it off.
Right.
With alcohol, I can never turn it off. Not until I turn it off.
Right.
And so, and I know so many people that it's helped that way. And,
Yeah.
and it's so funny because people go, you work in liquor stores and bars and restaurants all the time. Does it not bother you, all the alcohol? And I said, no, actually, it helps me. And I know so many people that work in liquor stores that are in recovery.
Yeah.
That and they can do it because they see their old selves and those customers coming in the door,
It's helpful.
and it reminds you every single time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty strong.
Yeah.
Now, I don't talk to everybody about it like that, but
Sure.
But
Everybody's
But
different.
if people ask me, how do you do it? I go, here's how.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's how I do it. Works for me.
I get into some of the best conversations with recovering alcoholics in liquor stores.
I bet.
Just the best, and they're the ones that are pointing people, and they'll tell me how many people are switching, and they'll go, I've got this customer that has, had consumed liquor for years, and then they came in the other day and they said, I hear this might really help me get off alcohol, and he was like, yeah, you've got to, you really need to, and he said, you're talking toxins compared to a plant.
Yeah. Give it a try.
So those folks are really good at educating.
Yeah.
And but when we were talking about bars and restaurants, the education of the staff is tremendous because they have to know, because they'll always ask the question, how do you know somebody's had too much? And I was like, well, how do you know somebody's had too much alcohol? And they'll go, well, I watch them, and also I know how much they've had. And I said, well, okay, perfect. It's the same thing.
It's the same
You're going to
thing.
watch them, and you know how much they've had. And I said, if you know that 5 milligrams is about like a glass of wine, they've had 10 milligrams, then that's 4 glasses of wine. What are you doing with that customer that's had 4 glasses of wine at that point? Are you kind of watching? Now, if they order one more, are you going to let them have another?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing on this side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I really think I think once you have an experience or two with it, it's pretty easy to really gauge.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really. It doesn't feel like rocket science. It seems easier to deal with than alcohol.
Oh, absolutely. It is. And so, it's been I would say the saving grace for liquor stores, they'll say if it wasn't for THC, their sales would be down because the drinking trends are down.
They're going to get it from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. There's bars selling it everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's that 20 to 30 something that doesn't really drink, and and because they're saying they don't want the toxins, or we watched our parents, and that's true, and they opt for something natural like the plant.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
And that affects the whole marketing for the alcohol industry as well, because that target market that they have in there is not doing anything.
No.
So, and then the older market, they're in recovery.
Yeah.
So who do you market to?
Yeah. I think there's everybody, like it's not a very closed demographic, I think, when it comes to these drinks. I think you can market this to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of the only, even more than an edible, I think this is more marketable to just everyone.
Right. And, we say sips to lips is a can in a hand. And it's true. Once people just taste it,
yep,
they want to buy it.
Yep. I completely agree. My wife, it's the only one she asked for.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's not like you taste it and you're trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be tasting, and then I got this taste in my mouth. I don't like there's some ingredient.
There's nothing
that I
to
don't
think
like.
about.
No, there's nothing. So it's just like, okay, this is an orange soda.
Yeah.
No
I love
questions.
it. Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, now you smoke weed now.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I've seen you smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, I do like it.
How long have you been? Again, how long have you been smoking flower like that?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've kind of seen um, you've seen a lot of change. There's been a lot of change in the past 10 years.
Absolutely.
What are some of the big changes that you've seen as far as like smokable stuff?
Well, you think about just, when after 2018, you heard all of a sudden this Delta 8 flower that you could smoke. And then when Delta 9, of course, THCA flower. And just, I think with just people realizing what THCA flower was after they tried it, because it seems like people would put it down like, oh, that's not real weed. They put it down and until they try it,
Yeah.
and understand what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they realize it's the same.
It's real weed.
So seeing that just explode,
Yeah,
has been one of the major changes.
and I'm not sure if you feel this way, but it is at this point. Although I'm talking about it right now, like one of the last things I'm ready to talk about with somebody. I've had to explain this to so many people, some of them multiple times, over and over and over again, and they still don't get it.
Right.
And yeah, like to be in retail, to be in sales right now, like God bless you guys.
There's so much. There's you went from seeing a few gummies to a whole wall.
Yeah.
Or vapes, and it's just exploded.
Yeah, with different cannabinoids and ratios and
oh yeah,
companies you can trust and companies you can't trust. No oversight.
And it's really, I think, what I've seen is the trust in those companies and the ones that are still around now. There are recognizable names that people trust, and that's what you want a brand to become.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of players that weren't here in 2018 when you were getting into it. All those people at those trade shows, what percentage of those companies are still there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did a trade show actually in Vermont one time, and that was really interesting. And but it was, even though you would think there would be just a ton of people at this event, there wasn't that many people.
Yeah.
And it was back years ago.
Right.
But now, obviously, we see events being held and stuff, and the attendance is huge.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely I feel like every state has a different story. Depending on what's going on there and what's going on in their neighboring states, and everywhere's so different. And nobody, there are definitely states that have done it better, but nobody's really gotten it, the way I want it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen, really, but.
How do you want it?
I guess I've just always. I think that decriminalizing it and descheduling it might be a better path forward than scheduling it as Schedule 3. I think that would give, and I'm talking out my ass because I really don't know. I've never seen this. So there's a lot of, there's only so many parallels and examples you can draw to it, but I would imagine that descheduling it and decriminalizing it would help companies like Cantrip and companies like Lifted and Gifted and Botanical Bliss not be so strangled by larger entities.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I would think so, but again, I don't. What do I know?
Well, it's not so much what we know as what we don't control.
Yeah, that's a big thing of it too. Is like I've stopped hoping for a certain amount. You know, I've definitely mitigated my expectations on how this is going to turn out, and I think I think for Tennessee, it's going to turn out okay. I think we'll end up doing all right.
I feel that way,
Yeah.
and I just wish it would be, kind of formal.
Yeah, the dust will settle, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
that
love
needs
for
to
the
settle
dust to
because there's
settle.
so many that it affects.
Big time. Yeah, yeah.
Just across the board. I mean, it's huge, huge.
Yeah. It is it's definitely wild. It's cool to be in it while it's evolving so early.
Yeah,
Um,
it is, and it's cool to being with Cantrip for a little over 2 years. It's cool because it's of course a fun job, but the people that I've gotten to know, and it's along the path, and then I run into them again and again, and I don't think you see, like in what I do, there's a lot of tenure in the reps. It seems to turn over a lot. To me, I found my stride.
Yep.
And that makes a big difference.
Mhm.
And that's great because in going into stores and people immediately go, "Hey, Neal, you know, it's good. I like
Yeah.
that." And so it's like the longer, of course, I believe in Cantrip 110%, but the longer I'm with anybody's with a brand, well, the more people trust you with what you're doing.
Big time.
You know,
I agree. And honestly, I think for how much what regions are you covering right now? Where are you?
I had Tennessee, the state.
Okay, so you got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure if I know another rep that's lasted as long.
Right.
And I mean, it's been what, 3 years? You said 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's been 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not
and
sure if I know another rep that's lasted as long or is as memorable, like in a branding way,
Okay, good. In
and
a
just
good way.
nice. And yeah, you're probably one of you're the brand rep that I think of when I think of
Oh,
brand
good.
reps in Tennessee for
Oh,
anything
good.
cannabis. You come to mind first.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I do it all the time. I will, I love talking about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it takes.
But it's not work to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's play.
Yep.
And I cover a lot of ground.
Yep.
I don't cover enough of the ground because
Tennessee's
I can't get to
big.
Memphis a lot. I can't get to Knoxville a lot. I'm going to go to Chattanooga tomorrow. I was in Memphis last week. We need to grow out Tennessee a little bit here because what we have done in the Nashville market has been just huge.
Nashville's got to be one of the best markets, right?
Yeah, so we have the marketing team here. We have the tasting team that does the liquor stores and all that, and it works really, really well. And it's just the events are growing, and we like to sponsor stuff, and so we wanted to get involved with the bars and sponsoring stuff, and
Events
because their success is going to help us too.
Certainly.
And so we want to support them. As I always tell, and I used to say this, and I still do. I'll say, to my stores and stuff, when I come back in here, I said I don't like to dust cans off, and I said I know if I'm going to have to dust a can off, you're about to bitch at me because it's not selling. And I said, so we want to help you sell this.
Yeah.
And I said, but you need to do what I tell you to do. And it's nice to have been doing this for so many years now that I can say this will work or this won't work. Or I can go into a bar and go, I have no clue that you have THC in here. You proudly display every freaking bottle of liquor that so people can choose.
Yeah.
But where's your THC? It's down in that cooler. And I said, trust me. I said, show it. I said, people will put it on the menu, which is great. But show it because people are at this point of identifying the look of that can to what they drink.
Yeah.
They may not remember the name, but they will identify with that can.
Yeah. It's tough to explain branding to, most people.
Right. Because I said, as I tell bars and restaurants, I said, one thing is like if you buy it, I'm happy you're now carrying it. Great. I said, but I can't be still with that. I said, I got to make sure you're set up for success from the get-go, from staff being trained, to the marketing team on site to be doing sampling, going table to table, to let's have a server contest, and we'll give gift cards and cantrips. We'll promote you on Instagram and our story. Things like that, because we want to build it up. And some bars might not want to do it on the night they start, and that's fine. But the point being is we want to help them sell.
Yeah, certainly.
And it's always great when the staff loves it.
Yeah. I feel like I'll always say that it's easy to get people interested. It's always been easy for me to find employees that would want to jump into it.
Yeah.
There are certain aspects of it, especially in places like a bar with bartenders. Of course they love weed.
Yeah.
There are definitely some things about it in some corners that are easy to sell.
Right, and I love like when bar owners or GMs say, no, we don't want to carry it because we don't want to crossfade our guests. And so, in the beginning when I was told that, I was like, well, I understand and everything. Well, I changed that now. That's my response is, let me tell you, you are crossfitting your guests already. If you think that not one of your customers didn't eat a gummy, hit a vape, smoke a joint, or hit a bowl before they came in here tonight, you're kidding yourself.
Man.
So, yes, let's go ahead and just clear that one because you're already doing that. So what is your next objection?
You're high. You're high. All these people here are high.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, what's the next objection?
What do you mean, bud?
And
yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. And, I always say, too, another thing is that if a bar or restaurant put a THC brand in and it didn't sell well, well, in their minds, no THC brand would sell well here because we were offering a THC brand.
And the one didn't work, so.
And none of them are going to work. And I hear that. They don't repeat those words I just said, but I'll hear them go, well, it just doesn't sell well. And I'll go, why do you think it doesn't sell well? And they go, people just don't order it. Well, I'll take them down the path on this. And, I'll go, let's talk about what you're carrying for one.
Yeah.
And I go, great brand, done a great, I'm not putting down the brand, but the education of if it's higher in CBD and lower in THC, well, that's probably the reason it might not be selling.
Yeah.
Because people might not want to be ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I think the bars in East Nashville have really defined that as, saying that the CBD is for the home, not the bar.
Mm-hmm.
We want to keep the guests up and going, not put them to sleep.
Yep.
So, it's a fun ride. It's fun to talk about them and just get people to think about, why it may not be selling for them, but they just have to be willing to switch just to try.
Yeah, just be willing to test it and try to. You've got to test things to get data and to really find out about them.
You can't, as I was saying earlier, you just can't put it in and think people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
The brands that did not work that they had, well, did they promote it?
Did they taste good? They talked to the bartenders. Did they?
Did they?
Yeah.
So. There's a lot to be said for, well, it didn't sell well, so I don't think so this time. No, it's time. It is time. If you don't, it'll be like the liquor stores that didn't want to put it in.
Yeah.
They didn't want their name tied to THC. No, our guests would never want to buy anything THC. And they'd push off. No. Well, now if they don't have it, they're losing a fucking ton of business.
Yeah.
And I know two stores right now.
That I'm shocked.
And
around here.
Mm-hmm, yeah, there's two. Well, and we're around here now. I'll take it back. There's 4. And one store says it doesn't fit their image, but the other 2 stores, one of them is about to put it in, And the other store, I don't know why, because they have sold back a while back gummies and stuff, and where in liquor stores that didn't really sell well, you know, sort of, but not really.
A lot of people stepped into it ahead of its time and
Yeah.
were introduced to it in a bad way,
Yeah, right.
you know,
And that's
especially with liquor stores like that, I bet.
So those that don't carry it they're possibly losing sales right now in the store because of what's going on with the beer and wine
Certainly.
industries. And so they need to wake up.
Yeah.
But not every state's like Tennessee, in that it's sold in liquor stores. Like in Georgia, they can only sell it in convenience stores. It blows my mind.
That
Oh,
is
in
wild.
dispensaries, but their dispensaries are not really like the dispensaries in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So.
What are grocery store laws like in Tennessee?
Well, they can carry it. However, it's typical in the grocery stores, or insurance won't cover the sales of THC.
Okay.
And so they can't carry it. However, I mean, most recently, their company meeting, there is a company that does insure that part of it. And so so the grocery store, then they could, if their insurance that they have doesn't cover them selling THC, well, they can get this supplemental insurance from this other company. I don't know the name, and it would cover that, so
And
they
it
could do it.
covers it. Okay.
Now I know with the laws in Tennessee, if this ban were to happen, January 1, then grocery stores and convenience stores are out.
Yeah.
So.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
And that's unfortunate because there is a grocery store down in Chattanooga that does sell very well with the THC beverages.
Chattanooga, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't be, obviously. Easily accessible to adults. What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by Lab Canna, our new studio sponsor. If you're serious about quality, Lab Canna is doing it right. Lab tested, dialed in, and built around transparency and consistency. No shortcuts, no guesswork, just solid products you can trust. We're hyped to have them backing the studio and what we're building here. Come hang out with us at their location in East Nashville and check out their sites and socials and hit those links in the bios. Love you guys. What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by the Terp Chaser Club. For the people who actually care about terp profiles, flavor, and overall experience, this is your lane. The Terp Chaser Club is built around quality and a deep appreciation for the craft side of this culture. If you're paying attention to what you're consuming, you already know the difference. Tap into the Terp Chaser Club, link in the bio, check out their Instagram, their website. We're big fans of theirs. They help us out, we help them out. It's all a big, beautiful ecosystem here. Thank you, guys.
Right. Right. And, Georgia, I'd gone down there to train our new sales rep, and we went into liquor stores because at that time, they don't sell to liquor stores. And then, they get the rug pulled on them on that. And so just when they could start really putting it in, because they really didn't know about it. They didn't know like how big Tennessee was into it.
Yeah.
And people were like, so people go, what's going on in Tennessee with this? Like, it's everywhere. And I was like, right, it could be everywhere in Georgia too.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
But these folks that make these laws and stuff don't seem to be understanding much. No. Or they don't want to, or money talks. So.
Talk about like where to sell it or different things like that. One of the things that makes me think of is like rock venues, not just bars, but venues specifically, because a lot of rock venues, especially local ones, are dying because nobody drinks anymore, right? And that's how they make their money. It's like the more cannabis drinks we could maybe bring into there or something like that could maybe boost revenue.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it will boost revenue for them. And it's not that they're not carrying it. they've some of the music venues are in exclusivities with some brands.
And distributors.
Yeah, and so then they may be carrying let's go back to that, a brand that it's heavy CBD and it's not selling for them. Now, so it kind of dampens a little of the front part of me trying to get in to get them to understand.
They have no advisory to
Right.
help them understand what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would do extremely well
Yeah.
if they would sell the 10 milligrams.
Yep. Yeah.
Look how much beer they're selling, and this
Goes back to the education, and it's like for a venue or for a bar, it's like you've got to educate every department,
right.
and like every person down the chain has to understand.
Everybody has to understand.
Yeah.
And but it'll come around, I think.
Dude, it will. We're on the. Hopefully, we're in the last 3 or 4 years that this frustrating level of education has to be a thing at all. you
Right.
know?
Right.
Hopefully, over the next few years, it's something that everybody understands, and you know, just as much as alcohol.
Right, exactly, and I see it. I see it coming. I see it in Nashville.
Yeah.
You know, and I see people drinking THC beverages prior to going into Ascend. Out there drinking them, and then because they don't sell them in there, and you think about what they could make in there if they would sell it. It's just amazing to me. Like First Bank Amphitheater. I mean, how many people in there had a gummy or smoked a joint before they came in? I mean, it's amazing. And they come in and they see, oh, there's THC beverages. Oh, this is great because I'm not going to need to drink tonight, and I can do this and be good. It just
More
makes
of them
sense.
would. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are so that are turned off by it because it's black market, and there's people that are going in that would love to be high, but they're scared of it. But if they see it and it's okay, and everybody else is doing it, that's a whole nother demographic that they're soaking in.
It is, and it's and it's in pockets around Nashville. I mean, it's in that one area, without naming the area, cannabis is used quite a lot. But when it comes to cannabis beverages, people will hide them behind something, so just in case somebody comes in and sees them, they don't want to be seen with a cannabis beverage. Why?
I get that. Say you're a teacher in Cookeville. Teacher in Cookeville, small town, they're out. There's going to be parents in the bar. Both my parents are teachers. I understand this kind of environment. There's going to be parents in the bar. To the parent, I could see why certain people would have reservations about that in certain small little cultures like that.
Right.
And it's a shame that it's that way.
It is. I was doing a tasting in a dispensary.
The small town life. I mean, in certain small towns, they don't want to be seen drinking alcohol either, or smoking a cigarette, or a lot of those kind of jobs or whatever, where they're really kind of, I guess, maybe in a place of being a role model. It gets to them. Not that it makes a difference, because they would have a beer in their hand anyways. But it is a stigma. It's the stigma that we're trying to get over.
And that's why there's so much alcoholism too.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
This is an acceptable way to kill yourself.
Yeah. It's just if people would just be who they are. I read this book once, Who You Are When No One's Looking.
I've heard of that title.
And it's a great book. It makes you think about it. I mean, it's a lot about integrity.
Reminds me of what's his name? That emperor of, maybe it was Rome, that everybody loved. I'll think of it in a second. But yeah, kind of that kind of philosophy and principle.
Yeah, it comes here. It's and so when you are out in public, are you being who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Are you being somebody else?
Yeah.
Are you being what you want them to think of you
Yeah.
as being?
Yeah.
And that's a huge problem in society. But that's been forever. Nothing's going to change that. But it's certainly a better feeling when you get to that other side and you are yourself, and who you see in me today, and if I see you Monday night or whenever, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Certainly. Yeah, integrity is so important, and you just see less and less of it.
Yeah.
And another reason why I love this brand, it seems to be a brand with a lot of integrity. They care about the taste, they care about the ingredients, and how it makes people feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's I would say that Adam, our CEO, chief scientist, he's the chief nerd.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest thing, because it's got to be right before it comes out. He doesn't want to have to bring anything back because people in tastings out there are like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
No, you got to know it up front.
Yep.
So he's got a taste for it, because he can nail the flavors down.
Yep.
And he's concerned about, of course, these are sodas. So sodas, a lot of people look at these and expect this soda to be good for you, like in calorie wise or sugar wise or anything. It's basically the soda. If you're going to drink, and so, however, we've got a product coming out soon that's not sweetened with cane sugar. It's sweetened with monk fruit.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the whole line goes low sugar.
Yeah.
So he cares.
Sure. Certainly.
And what are you putting in your body? And he's a young dad.
Yep.
2 young kids.
How old is he? 35 or so?
He looks 12.
Yep. You're not lying.
I'm going with 32.
32? Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
But he looks very, very young.
Mm-hmm.
And put a baseball cap on him, and he would
Yep.
be like in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I think I've shaken his hand once in person, and that must have been 2.5 years ago at a show somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't gotten to spend any time with him. I've heard a lot of good things. And he's definitely doing something right in formulation. Formulation is, it's so not easy. Getting flavors right on, making hash. If you're a hash maker and you have good cannabis to make hash with,
right.
It's pretty easy to make a good flavor. But if you just out of nowhere want to make a drink,
Right.
and you don't really understand it much about that, I could teach a first day person how to make good hash, as long as they have good starting material. But
Right.
to make a good tasting drink, to make a good tasting gummy, all of these things that really take a lot of flavor into what they are, especially when you're trying to get away from the cannabis flavor. It takes a lot of R&D and a lot of know-how.
Because using cane sugar, the easiest way to mask that taste of cannabis is to use like high fructose corn syrup.
Really,
and so it'll mask it, but it also gives you that
kind of slimy, thick.
And usually, and if it's in a beverage, it's usually the first ingredient listed, which tells you it's the most prevalent.
It is the highest percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not going to taste cannabis in it at all, and it's more like with Cantrip. It's more like if you order a vodka cocktail, and you don't see them make it, and they bring it to you, and you can't taste the vodka in it. How do you know it's there?
Ugh. Yeah, that is the worst feeling.
So you have a taste that you're kind of looking for there.
Yep.
Same thing with cannabis beverages.
Yeah.
So when you get to like the 10 milligrams, you might taste it a little bit.
Yeah.
50 milligrams, you'll at the end you'll taste it maybe a little bit more, but there's never anybody saying, "Oh, that's a weedy drink" or
No.
anything. And if I'm at a tasting and somebody says, "Now I just don't like this one," well, I ask the question, why don't you like it? And
Which part?
yeah, so
Yeah.
let's
I bet you
talk
like at
about
least
it.
one part about it.
If it's root beer, they go, "Well, I don't like root beer." Well,
Well, there
maybe
you
you
go.
shouldn't have tried it, but
Yeah.
or I'll get people that would try the seltzers, and as much as I explain that this is a seltzer, you pour it for them, they don't like it, and I go, "Now, what is it that you don't like about it?" And they go, "I just don't like seltzers," and it's like, okay. Which
Good
led me
information.
back to the first thing I had said to you. You weren't listening. But there's never anybody that goes, "No, that's just not good. I don't like that one." They're with Cantrips, they're always like,
Yep.
"That's spot on."
Man, I don't think I've had the root beer, but it's been a while. This is the first time I've had the Dr. Cantrip.
That's fire.
They nailed it.
Nailed it.
Wow.
I love that. So that's the only beverage that I might be driving in the afternoon and have this craving of a taste in my mouth for that cherry taste. We poured it over vanilla ice cream the other night, and that vanilla mixing with the cherry,
Oh man.
it was perfect for summer. And
Fuck
the orange is great with vanilla ice cream. The root beer is great.
Yeah.
I don't know about the grape.
Grape on vanilla. Yeah, some weird
Yeah.
kid somewhere would be down with that.
That would be like the suicide. I think.
Yeah.
You'd be making that one, but yeah. So, but yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff, fun stuff.
So are these all? You have more flavors. I
Yeah.
know you'll have more. Flavors.
Yeah. So there's in the 10 milligram, there's a cola that tastes like Coca-Cola.
I've had the cola.
And there's a diet cola that you talking about one that he nailed the taste.
Diet. Oh, I gotta
Diet
try
Cola.
that one.
Just fucking nailed it up. He's so everything that we have is sweetened with cane sugar,
Right.
Except Diet Cola,
Yeah.
and it is sweetened with aspartame,
Okay.
just like Diet Coke
For them.
is.
It's
And-
for them.
And so it's so funny to do a taste test with people. I was over in Memphis and we were doing
Yeah.
a taste test. People were picking their favorite one they would pick would be the Cantrip Diet Cola. And we go, which one is Diet Coke? And they'd pick Cantrip.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild.
So they would nail it. Now, some people were saying it was just Cantrip's Diet Cola was just a little less sweet, and that's why they liked it better.
Less aspartame, maybe?
No, compared to a Diet Coke.
Copy.
Yeah, so, and they liked it better because it wasn't as sweet as
Sure.
a Diet Coke.
Okay.
So it was, but anyway, we're going to do I'm going to set up at one of our restaurants coming up and do a little taste test with customers.
Okay.
And
Can you tell us what restaurant that is?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Have they opened?
Yeah, they're open.
Okay,
Mhm,
it's
yeah.
established.
Yeah, and so and get people in there to taste this diet, the Dr. Cantrip compared to a Dr. Pepper, the Diet Cola compared to and just get them to pick the orange compared to a knee high, the the orange compared to a Fanta, the grape compared to a knee high.
Yeah.
And the root beer is very much like a A&W cream soda because of that creaminess
Okay.
at the end of it.
Okay.
And I always say root beer lovers lose their shit on it. They love it. And I love it, but I hate root beer. And it's funny because I grew up and I've always called root beer dirt soda. And I got that
Okay.
from, I think I was like 8 years old. I was at a birthday party. And the mom served some brown drink for us with our birthday cake.
Okay.
And I looked at this like, what in the hell is this? So I probably didn't say that, but I was like looking at it and I was like, I looked around and I was like, can't have Coca-Cola? And I look and I was like, you know what? I bet she gardens a lot out here. I bet you she put dirt in like soda water and served that to us. So I've always called it dirt soda. And so I never liked it. I don't like, so anybody that doesn't like root beer, they don't like black licorice either.
Right.
And they also don't like Jägermeister.
Right.
And so anise is anise is a Mediterranean spice that we don't like.
Right.
And so, but when I went to work for Cantrip, in June of 23, I was like, I'm going to have to try it. I'm going to have to, because people are going to say, what do you think? And I can't say, well, I don't like root beer, because if they don't, they're not going to try it. So you got to try it. So I read up on it. I knew there was a lot of vanilla, a lot of almond, and there was anise. But I told myself that there's probably very little anise, and so there's a lot of almond and vanilla, which I love. And I tasted it, and I fucking loved it. Loved it. And put it over ice cream, love it even more. And people will say that's like, and I never told people it tastes like an A&W cream soda.
No.
People have said that.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know, they're the ones that are saying this is a Fanta, this is a knee high.
Yeah.
That's the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And bars and restaurants are picking up on that one big time
I
around
bet.
town, because that one just, that taste right there.
It nails it.
And there's a lot of Dr. Pepper drinkers.
Yep. It's not overly sweet.
No.
Um,
And nothing's overly
Yeah.
carbonated either.
no, it's not.
So
Not at all.
That's another thing Adam doesn't want to do, is overly carbonate.
Yeah, that's an annoyance.
So yeah, it's a fun ride, and we'll just see as laws change and everything, and what we do. And
I've got some news that I can't talk about that I want to talk about
Oh.
so bad.
I know I really want you to talk about this. I'm thinking maybe if we start smoking,
maybe
you would
maybe
open
I'll
up.
loosen my
Man,
lips.
just loosen up a little bit more.
You want to smoke some rosin?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Riley and Drew left us some goodies from the Botanical Bliss Lifted and Gifted stuff.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely partake, and thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. That is what we're here for.
And that's why I'm here. Not because of just that.
That's
you
why
guys are
I'm
great.
here.
You guys are great. I love seeing y'all out, and
There's a big piece of me that, that I say a big piece. I'm not sure how big it is, but there's a piece of me that started this journey because I just wanted to have weed all the time. I wanted to be surrounded by weed, surrounded by weed people, and just have so much weed around me.
yeah,
And I didn't really. That was a small part of me, but I'm so glad I'm here in a place where I'm, and not even just this place, but just Tennessee, where there is so much good options now.
Right.
You can really go to stores and buy really, really incredible weed. And if you know me, you know that I am a huge weed snob, and I barely even smoke flower at this point in my life. Because there's so much good hash around,
right.
and it's more convenient. It doesn't smell on you.
That's true.
You know.
But I do like the smell of weed too.
I do too. I love it, and I think something that kind of wrecked it for me was living in San Francisco for several years, and in California, and just being around some of the best weed that I'd ever experienced. And at some point, I guess that was 2007, end of 17 into 18, I moved back here, and it seemed like around 16, 17, and up until recently, there was just such a huge oversupply, and it just made it really hard to find good flower. It was just almost non-existent.
Well, I still have the. I'm old school because I'm kind of old, and 60. But
You're 60?
I am, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll be 61 on September 2nd.
Oh, you're killing it.
So thank you.
Damn. Wow.
See,
Salute,
contribute to weed.
Tribute to weed.
And speaking of, I was at my eye doctor a few years back, and so she knows I care about my dad had macular degeneration, so I always want to be on top of what's going on, and so then she was going to do the check for glaucoma, and so that's when they do the puff in your eye to measure the what is it? The word I'm looking for.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But like yeah.
And so anyway, and I'll probably say it when I explain it, but anyway, so she did it, and so she said, so your eyes are, and I can't think of the word, but at your age, it should be lessening, whatever the word is I'm looking for here. It should be lessening, and when it lessens, that's what can bring on glaucoma.
Right.
And she said, the pressure.
The pressure.
Or the pressure in your eyes.
Right.
And she said, the pressure in your eyes, it typically, and I said that incorrectly, it typically goes up.
Okay.
With age, it goes up. And that's what brings on glaucoma.
Right.
And said, she said, when it drops, you don't see that at your age. Your pressure is dropping. And I said, well, good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. And she said, it is. And so she said, I want to kind of figure out perhaps where or how. And I said, she said, well, can I interrupt? And I said, sure. She said, can I give 3 letters? And she said, THC. And I said, true.
YES.
And she said, and then she said, I'm telling you, she said, there's so many studies that being done that are, that are not legal studies being done on, the treatment of glaucoma with THC. And she said, and we're seeing that more and more, but she said, it will reduce the pressure in your eyes.
Yeah. I remember that being like something I would hear when I was a kid. Like, I feel like that was maybe one of the first things that it treated that was like really heavy in the ethos. People would say, as for my glaucoma.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But you don't hear about it now.
You don't.
Maybe
you really
that's
don't.
because everybody smokes weed. They don't get glaucoma anymore.
There's no glaucoma. I don't know.
Does that... I don't know much about that ailment, but does it affect your vision, or is it just painful?
Glaucoma? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know much about it. But yeah, it's so cool to see signs like that it's it's just reinforcing people's health for the most part.
Right, it does. Yeah. It does, and in so many different ways. And
that'll vibrate when it's ready.
All right.
This is some banana, frozen banana.
Frozen banana.
The frozen banana. He said it was one of the best they had right now. It looks like some good stuff. What was the flower he gave you? The high octane's great, and the Kimber slice is, fantastic. Have you ever seen one of these? You haven't seen one of these.
No, I haven't. That is banana. That's nice.
That is banana. So this company, they're called the Terp Chaser Club. And they approached me last year about sponsoring the cup, but it was like really late in the game and it just didn't work out. And at the beginning of the year, they reached out and he was like, hey, I want to be involved with what you have going on. I can tell you care a lot about flavor, and that's all this really is. So I'm going to send you one. I don't want anything. Just, tell me what you think about it.
Nice, yeah.
And I have loved it, and it is absolutely a staple of my daily smoking now.
Okay.
And I'm really not. I'm not outside of this or inside of this. I don't really want to be somebody that has a ton of stuff smoking devices.
Right.
I don't want to be like a review channel that has a wall of stuff behind
Right,
it.
right.
But I have fucking loved this thing from day one. What it does is this element, I'm sure you've seen an element like this, but inside this element is small glass beads.
Okay.
Yeah, little tiny ruby pearls.
Okay.
And this coil just keeps us hot. And you're just drawing vapor through that glass pathway over the flower.
Okay. Oh,
Sits on like
yeah.
that. And you're just pulling hot air over it. And I've never tasted flower like this.
Really?
The look on growers' faces when they taste their own flower for the first time is very fucking interesting, especially in 2025.
Right. Right.
But yeah, this vape tech for flower has been around for a long time, but only in the past year or so have people figured out how to make it not taste like burnt popcorn
Right.
kind
Right.
of taste. I'm sure you've experienced that before
Right.
with a vaporizer.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
It doesn't really like bring out the flavor necessarily. But this thing is absolutely mind blowing. It's really gotten me into smoking flower more too. Like I really just haven't. 24 minutes, dope. We got 24 minutes left. That
All
should
right.
be plenty of time.
So what do I do with that?
Oh, so that's a carb cap. You're going to. I'll show you how to
All right,
how
yeah.
you're going to work it, but eventually you can pull that just to clear the chamber.
Oh, that's the part. Okay.
Right,
gotcha.
right. I
yeah.
kind of end up smoking it. You kind of operate it more like a hookah. You're going to inhale for a little while, then you'll exhale that. And you'll do that again for a couple of times until it builds up enough that you'll pull it.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, that's the best grinder ever.
You like these grinders?
Yeah.
The goat grinder?
Well, because that was one of the prizes for winning last year's.
Oh, so y'all got two, or I don't know if did we give them away both years? Maybe we just gave them away last year. I can't remember.
No, it was just last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, these are great grinders. You know, you can put this on any jar too, right? Like any
Yeah. That's
any
what I
wide
think.
mouth jar that can go on top of.
Yeah, somebody calls it my mason jar grinder.
Yeah, exactly. You just pack some weed in that bowl like that. And what I've been doing is letting it sit on there, and I watch this temp drop. You'll start to see the temp drop because that glass is absorbing some of that heat.
Right.
And I wait till it gets to like 412, and then I have to start pulling on it. Yeah, and then you just exhale that like a regular rip and do
Right.
another one.
Man, that tastes different.
Yeah, how is that taste? Is it...
So clean and just it's like natural. Like it maybe that's nice.
Yeah, the terpenes that I'm tasting on
The terpenes is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even after the yeah.
it sticks in your
It
mouth
sticks
too.
in your mouth,
You'll
yeah.
taste it for like an hour. It's wild.
Yeah, that is nice. It's just it lingers.
Yeah. I was blown away by the flavor it brings out. I don't think I've ever experienced that with flour at all.
No,
At all.
never. That's nice.
Yeah, I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah, I mean it's like I'm not even smoking flower. I mean it's
Yeah.
and like I said, I love the smell of it. So,
Yeah.
I was always the kid that somebody smelled a skunk. I never minded it. I was the one that liked it.
Yeah. And like I would probably rip that again.
Yeah.
I would let this coil like heat up for another second just to get back up to temp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I am digging that.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
The flavor. That's why he sent it to me, because he knows I'm fucking obsessed with flavor.
And the weed
I
is
like it.
great.
The weed is fucking great too.
So
The weed is fucking great
yeah,
too.
thanks to you, Riley. Good shit.
Yeah, fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, I'm stoked about having that thing around. I've been smoking it every day. I probably went a week and didn't smoke hash. I was just so fucking stoked about it. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
So it goes back up to what, 4?
I just dropped it a little bit, but I usually keep it between 410, 417-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I fucking love it, man.
Yes. I'm fucking stoked about it.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me feel like I love smoking joints. I like rolling joints. I love smoking through big bongs.
I can't roll them at all.
Yeah, it's just not a.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like golf.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's got to be one of the few people that have ever been told by a golf pro that's your teacher that, this just isn't your sport.
My golf.
And I'm going to refund your wife's money.
And I'm gonna refund your wife's money.
Yeah. And so, okay, so I don't remember. I'm not a golfer, but I believe I am. Am I supposed to not watch the ball, right?
You definitely keep your eye on the ball.
Keep your eye on the ball. Okay.
Until you swing through.
Yeah, so I don't know what I was ever looking at, but anyway, I dug up the course more than anything. I wanted to do it, I guess, my way, which says a lot, right? I mean,
how often are you gonna do it? You gonna do it after that? Probably not.
I
Just
fucking
do your
didn't even
way.
like to be dressed like a golfer. This.
No, dude, I'm not. Yeah.
But I did like to drive the golf cart, and
Fuck yeah.
pretty good at that.
Flip truck.
And that was during my drinking days, so I did very well drinking and driving those golf carts for people.
Yes.
But the golf course just wasn't my place. But I do think it's the place for these.
F yeah.
And we just got it on a golf course over in Knoxville,
Hell yeah.
Tennessee National.
Is that the only golf course you're on?
Yeah, because
That
there's
is
always
shocking.
yeah, it is. Gotten so close with a few of them, but it's like there's always one person on that board that says
he's
like
that guy.
in one golf course here in Middle Tennessee, one of the deciding guys said, nobody on our golf course consumes cannabis. And my contact was like, he obviously has not been on the course in a long time. And he said the amount of, pre-rolls that are out there, he said we should be selling pre-rolls and Cantrip.
Pre-roll. Yeah, you should. Yeah, absolutely.
And he
That
said-
was it's. I was on the high school golf club team.
Okay.
I am not super into golf. A lot of my friends don't know that because I just don't talk about it. But I do enjoy hitting golf balls.
Okay. All right. Well.
And fuck, I'm high. I forgot where I was going with that, Neil. But
Yeah, but golf. So golf is golf. Yeah, so if you played on the golf team, I mean, why did you play on the golf team?
why?
Uh-huh.
Oh, we were going back. I was talking about what I love to do. I love getting high and hitting golf balls.
Okay.
Because
Well, maybe that
became part of.
So maybe that was where I fucked up. Maybe I should have gotten high for the golf lessons.
Maybe. Or honestly, I mean, man, it's like my lessons were from a high school coach, and he was good
Was
at
he
golf.
high
It
on
was
the golf
no, he
course?
wasn't high, but like learning from somebody like that when you're young is probably different from being an adult and like
Right.
trying to learn something.
Right, but I mean, I didn't let the age difference bother me that they were younger than me trying to teach me. I just, the fact that we lived on a golf course, I felt like I probably should play.
Yeah.
No, it was great for sledding. It was in Georgia, and so when it snowed, it was great to sled on. Um, but playing golf just was not it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, anyway, I was playing one time, and I never played more than 9 holes. Nobody ever stay on the course with me for more than 9 holes. And the ninth hole was you had to hit it across the pond, and on the other side of the pond was also the club house, and it was all glass, and there were people sitting there eating lunch.
Yeah.
And I just looked, and this pond appeared to me as like the Atlantic Ocean at this point. And I thought, there is no way in hell I would be able to hit it across this lake or this pond. Or if I do, I'm probably going to hit the glass. And so I was like, I don't want to shatter the glass, and I don't want to be embarrassed because my ball went in the water. So I threw it. And
Brilliant.
yeah, and it made it across.
Fuck yeah.
And I didn't break any glass.
Yeah.
And you just take the you just take the point.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I don't know, but back then I thought that you were supposed to drink a Foster's per hole. Those Foster's.
That was just the
oil
rules
cans.
of golf.
I thought that was the rules of golf.
golf.
So that's why I never got. I mean, it's amazing how I got to 9 holes.
Did somebody tell you that as a joke?
Possibly. But I don't know. But I do know this: the non-drinking days are so wonderful compared
Yeah.
to those drinking days, and
Yeah.
those. Now the weed is I fucking love it, and still waiting on that thing to get back up to temp. And
Fuck yeah, you are, dude. I'm that way with bowling. I went bowling the other day with my wife, and she did terrible, and she beat the dog shit out of me.
Did you say go ahead and hit it now, or?
Yeah, you can really hit it whenever you want to. There's no wrong answer, but like if you let it sit there, it'll preheat it a little more.
Now I should be trying to guess the terpenes at this point, shouldn't we?
Buddy, you might be better at that than I am. This is Kimber Slice. I'm not sure what Kimber Slice even is, as far as what makes that. Oh, it says on here, it says 2 other varieties that I'm unfamiliar with.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, so now we're back to
who knows?
Back to square one. On
Yeah,
this.
as far as like what it actually is, I'm not sure, but maybe you can tell by smelling it. I'm so weird about smells. Like I know them, and when I smell them, I know that I know them, but I might not be able to tell you what they are.
Okay, I'm going to go. I could be wrong, but I'm going with a little pinene in this one. You smell that?
Yeah, it's definitely a little earthy. It's definitely more earthy than
It's more
fruity.
earth. Yeah, right.
Right.
There's no citrusy anything
Right.
there, so.
Yeah, maybe a little garlic or something. This one's an OG. That tastes pretty OG. It's like OG and like meaty. Those meaty
Oh, yeah, that
terpenes.
That helps.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Kimbo Slices, Blueberry Kush, and Starfighter. Nice. Blueberry Kush.
Blueberry.
Man, it's crazy that there is not another plant on Earth that can taste like so many goddamn things. Strawberry, a banana,
Right.
dirt, garlic,
Right.
armpit,
Right.
cheese. Yeah, having a plant that can taste like so many things is something that I don't think people really stop and slow down to think about very often.
Even peanut butter.
Even peanut butter. Yep.
True.
Yeah, wild flavors can come from this.
That is nice.
It is, dude.
You got to come back and hang out and just chill. I'm sure you're
Yeah, I'd
you're
love
over
to.
at Sinkers sometimes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just come by and hang
You
out
just
now that
swing
you know
by.
where it is. Yeah.
And next time I come back, maybe I'll bring that new product, Elixir,
That's the one
which
that's
we didn't talk about, but it's the
Oh.
one that's got it's a neutral taste. It's an aquamarine color. It's going to come in a 750 milliliter bottle, but it's actually good for you.
Oh, big bottle.
Yeah. So, and then you're going to be able to buy it eventually in 10 milligram shots. But
Okay.
Adam, being Adam, our CEO, chief scientist, used spirulina in this, and spirulina, is an algae,
Yep.
as a protein,
Yep.
used a lot in smoothies.
Blue, right?
And it's
People
blue.
use it to color. Yeah.
Right,
Natural
it's
dye.
blue. And he sweetened it with monk fruit,
Yep.
so 0 calories. So we'll have to try it when I come back.
Yeah, that's exciting.
But it's supposed to be poured into anything. It's just a neutral taste.
Still
So
good.
we will definitely do it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm usually here Monday through Thursday, at least Friday, like 9 to 5, just hanging out with these guys and
Oh yeah,
editing videos.
I'll come smoke with you
Yeah, please do.
because I'm over here all the time. You'll
Yeah.
be like, Neal, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
dude."
let this be your little smoke stop.
I said, does he work here? He's here all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've been sharing this space. Thank you. Yeah, they got this space at the beginning of the year and walked in, and this was here, and they were like, "Hey, come do this over here."
This is
There's a
great.
space for it. So yeah, I've been working with them to shoot some of their media and content a little bit at their events and stuff, and we get studio space.
Did you ever hear back from Adam?
I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I followed up with him
Yeah,
after
you
we
did.
last
Well,
talked.
I don't think there's any video, anything going to be done. I don't
Okay.
think, which is a shame.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would at least encourage people to pull out their cell phones and get something, you know.
Well, yeah, that'll happen, but
Yeah, it is a shame, especially. I mean, that my philosophy is do that a lot. Is make as much content as you can.
people can see the people of Cantrip. What do those people look like? We haven't ever been together. It's gonna be fun.
Well, maybe does he know all these people?
And
we can cut some of this out too.
No. I mean, he
Maybe
knows them because he's interviewed them. But
right. I mean, maybe that's part of it. Is
met a few here and there.
You know, if he really cares about the image of his company, you know, there may be a part of this that he doesn't really understand what he's walking into. Maybe it'll make him more comfortable for next time.
Yeah, maybe so. But it would definitely be nice to have it. You know, the group on that bus riding through town.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it would.
Can't wait to see what they're like.
Yeah, I would be excited about the opportunity to do something like that.
Well, maybe he still will contact you back. There's still time.
Yeah, certainly.
And
Yeah.
because I've been putting together, where we're going to eat on that Thursday night. Then we're going to start at Neighbors in the Gulch.
Yeah.
And they sell the root beer, and then on to the listening room for their 6 o'clock show, and they sell the orange. I think they're going to probably go ahead and bring Dr. Cantrip in, and then down the street to Honky Tonk for the buses. So
That'll be a good time.
yeah, it'll be a good time.
How long do you have the bus?
It's so when those tours, it's 2 hours that they're out.
Okay, nice.
So I took it the
That's
first
perfect.
night. The first night the Cantrip buses rolled, I went that night on it, and of course I'm on there with a bachelorette party, right? And there was more twerking than you can imagine. I mean, it was a true. I mean, yeah,
It was a true something. Yep. Yeah. That's cool. How many? So, are y'all partnering with somebody to do that? They're not. Y'all aren't operating these buses.
No.
No.
It's
They're just
so
rides.
we're right. We Yeah, it's because we're doing a sponsorship with Honky Tonk Party Express, and so we did 2 buses, wrapped 2 buses. So
Okay.
through 2025, where they're THC beverage.
Copy that. Okay, gotcha. Nice. How many buses do they have total?
I'd say 20, 25.
Dude, I would have guessed there were only like 20 or 25 in the whole town.
No, it's no 2025, and you know, because there's so many, and they're really changing the place because it truly was. They want to turn this into a place that you want to go hang out, even if you're not riding the bus.
Okay.
So the
sure.
bar, and so
It's a funnel.
until this year, there was no AC there. So when you go to get on a bus, I mean, there was just fans blowing.
Right.
And so now they've got AC in there, which makes a big difference. They've changed the whole place up and made it really nice.
Yeah, tolerable.
Yeah,
in-
yeah, yeah.
in
And
bad
so
conditions.
so when they go in, they check in, and then they go back to this area that has beer and Cantrip,
Yeah.
and they get whatever they want, and they bring it out, and then they pay for it, and then they take it away from them, and then they're going to put it on the bus for them. And so you never have it again, until you're on the bus, and then the bus driver or the bartender on the bus is controlling it.
Right. I'm glad y'all have really gotten y'all's hands into that. It's definitely a huge opportunity.
Yeah, man. It's been a great year. It's been a great year. It's been, when you look at the sales and what it's done, with that first 6 months, $45,000 in sales, and 2024, $1 million in sales, and year to date, June 30th, 1.6 million.
Jeez.
So, like, our COO was talking to me this afternoon. He said, "So you're going to blow past that goal," which just seemed so hard to get, probably. But I said, "I will." I said, "I think I'll probably hit it by October 31st." So then there's big payoffs then. But yeah. So it's just now, like I said, bars and restaurants, hotels. Hotels are good for it. The Hotel Indigo was the funniest about them because they put in the Orange 50 a few years. Oh well, yeah, maybe 2023. Yeah, it was. And they're all stoners that work there. So to hear their stories about this is so funny because they said that they put them in the room service, in the refrigerators in the rooms, and so. And people were
50 milligrams.
and people were drinking them, and then what the fuck's happening to me type.
Certainly.
And calling down to the front, and then Heather, who is like my age, stoner, funny as fuck.
Yeah.
She said, people go, "No, what? I don't know what's happening." She said, "No, baby," she said, "let me ask you, what did you drink out of that refrigerator?" And they'll say this. That Cantrip, and she's like, "Well, did you read it?" They said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, do you smoke weed, baby?" Well, no. Well, you drank a 50 milligram, and so they had that on numerous occasions. So they decided, no, we need to go to the 10. Well, then last Christmas they decided to go back to the 50, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Derek, you're putting in the 50 again?" And he was like, "Just for the holidays."
Just for the holiday.
Like, oh my
But
God.
yeah, that seems like a good opportunity to record some content for like promotional testimonies.
Yeah. How do I do this?
Oh, let me see it. Let me
hit it before I go.
Oh yeah, I want to make it fresh for you.
Yeah, so was that good? The interview, you think, went well?
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. I wish we could do it longer.
Oh yeah, there's never the lack of talk out of me.
Yeah, well, and two, like I would like for this to be something that we have reoccurring guests on, and this is an introduction to a person that's probably gonna be on the show more, and we'll learn more about them.
Yeah. Next
I know
time we
there's
talk
there's a little more to Neal than an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll talk about hiking, and I spelled that HIGHKING, hiking. And we'll talk about me going. So if anybody that likes to hike, will certainly enjoy my hiking trips.
Okay.
So I'd love to go over on the trace.
Yeah.
And hike that, and the routine. It's a bowl before, a bowl at the turnaround, and a bowl at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps shrooms before.
All right. Yeah.
But sometimes it's just fun, just because shrooms will. I could just tripping, and tripping out in the woods is fine if you're not having to hike and keep going somewhere. If you're just sitting out there in the woods and looking up at the trees and the birds and bees, shit like that, then it's all good.
Understandable.
But if you're having to exert, it's not too fun. So just smoke weed. Once again, there we go, weed.
You can't go wrong. It's ready.
Oh, it's ready.
Yeah. You really can't go wrong. What about some of the, have you seen any other good flower brands out there that have caught your eye?
Well, no, I've had some flour that I like, but I don't know where it's from.
Right.
It seems like the guys up in Gallatin, CBD Central, they get good stuff.
Okay.
And Danny at Hemp Instead. Yes, Hemp Instead. There's one out Music Valley Drive. He gets good stuff, but I don't know where he gets stuff.
Stuff sometimes. Well, we'll just we'll call this the end, I guess.
So you're still not going to tell me what you really want to
I
tell
can't.
me?
I can't.
I even went all the way through the process of smoking weed, and then I thought, okay,
hit
now.
stop. Do you see the stop button? What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by Lab Canna, our new studio sponsor. Lab Canna is focused on doing the right things the right way. High-quality lab-tested hemp-derived products with real emphasis on transparency and consistency. Everything that they put out is backed by data, so you actually know what you're getting every time. What sets them apart from the rest is their attention to detail. From sourcing and testing the final product, it's all built around people who care about quality and trust and, all those great things. We're proud to have Lab Canna sponsoring the studio and helping us keep this platform growing. Make sure you go check out their location here on Gallatin Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Check out their socials and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. What's up, guys? This episode is sponsored by BBXLG, a brand focused on quality and consistency, doing the right things the right way. They've been strong supporters of the culture and what we've been building here at Joint Efforts. If you're tapped into the community, you've probably already seen their work, and if not, now's the time to get familiar. If you're local, check out the Green Note Market here in Nashville, happening every Monday at Vinyl Lounge. It's a great place to connect with vendors, relax, and hang out with the culture and community that you love. BBXLG is always going to be in the mix of that. We super appreciate BBXLG for backing the show. Tap in, hit the link in the bio, get to their Instagram, their website, and all that good stuff. Thank you, guys.